Good afternoon and welcome to the first Blendertainment vlog of 2025. I'm your host, Andy Sullivan. The reason it has been so long, I believe it's been a month, December is a busy month. I'm not a whole lot of a talker. And well, that's pretty much it. December's a busy month. Every time I thought about it, it was late at night and I was tired, so I did not do it. And I didn't do it so much that we're going to go back to December or January 6th. No, we're not. Well, the first game of the year for Kentucky was the earliest game, 11 a.m. But I will say the game against Florida was the first. This is the first time in 60 years that UK and Florida will only play once in a season. That's a crazy fact. As of that game, their two biggest wins of the season were Duke and Gonzaga. Through the first few games of the season, Andrew Carr was the biggest scorer. Let's see. Okay, Raw, of course, WWE Raw is on Netflix now. Its premiere was the first Monday night of the new year. There was a video played at the beginning of the first episode which detailed the history of WWE, which I thought was awesome. If you didn't see it and want to, this is the cool thing about it being on Netflix. You can go back and watch it. Just like you can go back and watch tons of other stuff from WWE. I enjoy Raw on Netflix. I think it's pretty cool. I don't watch it live. I still don't watch it live. I haven't watched Raw live in let's see, probably my freshman year of college. So 2004. Yeah, because, oh no, wait a minute. No, hell no, not 2004. 2004 was, yeah, that's right, 2004. So, yeah, 21 years I haven't watched Raw live. that's some kind of feat, isn't it? As of January 11, last week, Kentucky has 4 top 12 net wins. No other team has more than 2. Duke, Florida, Gonzaga, and Mississippi State. Duke, Florida, Gonzaga, and Mississippi State are the 4 wins that we got. And something NASCAR-wise today was announced that Martin Truex Jr., the recently, well, I don't think he wanted to say retired, but last year was his final full-time season in Cup. There we go. Final full-time. But anyway, Truex Jr. will attempt to qualify in the Daytona 500. Qualify for the Daytona 500 in the number 56 for Tricon Garage. And let's go back to Kentucky basketball. Kentucky is 14-3 overall, 3-1 in conference, 75% win percentage, 2-game win streak, 11-0 at home, 1-2 away. That losing record away is gonna, unless we go on a hot streak, that losing record away is probably what's gonna lessen our seeding for the NCAA tournament. I know too early to talk NCAA tournament. I'm not gonna Joe Lenardi you and hey, I wonder how many times Joe Lenardi's had his name used as a verb. Joe Lenardi you. Joe Lenardi is the bracket guy for those who do not know. Anyway, the next Kentucky game is Saturday versus Alabama in Rupp, 11 a.m. on ESPN. The rest of the games, January 25th, Vanderbilt on ESPN and ESPN2. Tuesday the 28th against Tennessee is on ESPN. Saturday, February 1st against pretty struggling John Calipari Arkansas squad, which, oh no, that doesn't make me happy at all. 8 p.m. February 4th, Ole Miss, 6 p.m. on ESPN. February 8th, South Carolina. Okay, there's a typo in the schedule because it says Tuesday, February 4th. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm the typo. Hold on. Tuesday is the 4th. Wednesday, Thursday. 5th, 6th. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. February 8th, South Carolina. February 11th, Tennessee. February 15th, Texas. February 19th, Vandy. February 22nd, Alabama. February 26th, Oklahoma. Saturday, March 1st, Auburn. I'm not looking forward to that because Auburn's probably going to be the number one team in the country, and my cousin Joy graduated vet school at Auburn, and she's, well, you know how we all are about our teams when they're really good, just a tad obnoxious. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. March 4th, LSU, and closing out the season March 8th at Columbia, Missouri on ESPN and SEC Network against Missouri. So that is the rest of your NCAA basketball season. Playoffs. And every time I say playoffs, I hear it like that NFL coach, the playoffs. Yeah, so let's see, I've got an app on here instead of having to go run it down. Here we go. Last week, 4-seed Houston Texans made it through. They will take on the top seed Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs will win that game because, you know, Kansas City Chiefs are Teflon. Baltimore and Buffalo is the lower half of the AFC bracket. My prediction for the AFC Championship will be Kansas City versus Baltimore. And over on the other side, NFC, you got the Washington Commanders versus the Detroit Lions. Both teams really hot this year. I'm going to go with Detroit. And if they make the NFC Championship game, they will face the winner of Philadelphia and Los Angeles. And boy, let me tell you, what kind of a story would it be after those wildfires? Prayers up for the victims of the wildfires, and thankful for the first responders. What kind of story would it be if the LA Rams were playing for the NFC Championship, and they would all they'd have to do is beat the Philadelphia Eagles? But what kind of bigger story would it be if the LA Rams went to the Super Bowl? That would be talk about a feel-good story. That would be incredible. Who do I think is going to win the NFL playoffs? Excuse me while I take a little sip here. A drip and sip. I just dripped on myself. Okay. Who do I think is going to make the Super Bowl? Well, it is way too early. Well, it's not way too early, but it's a little too early because we still got those games to play this weekend. But I'm kind of thinking Rams and Chiefs, but it doesn't matter who wins on the NFC side because, I mean, it's bought and paid for Kansas City, isn't it? That's kind of the deal. But so anyway, yeah, Kansas City going to win the Super Bowl, and that is that. Let's see what else. What else is going on? Well, again, I hope everybody had a good Christmas and New Year's. Let's discuss a little wrestling news that just came down the pike, shall we? Check this out. WWE and TNA Wrestling have announced a multi-year partnership. NXT Superstars and TNA Wrestling stars to appear across weekly WWE and TNA programming, WWE premium live events, and TNA pay-per-views. January 16th, 2025, WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings, and TNA Wrestling, one of the world's top wrestling brands and a subsidiary of Anthem Sports and Entertainment, today announced a multi-year partnership aimed at creating unprecedented crossover opportunities with WWE and TNA programming for NXT Superstars and TNA Wrestling stars. The agreement will enable talent to garner additional exposure across key WWE and TNA programming, including weekly flagship shows such as NXT, which airs live on the CW, and TNA Impact, which airs on Access. Select WWE premium live events and TNA pay-per-views in turn bolstering their in-ring development with exposure to world-class talent and coaching. That is pretty huge. And one of the things I expect to see out of it is the Hardys and Joe Hendry of TNA being in the Royal Rumble, which wouldn't be that much of a change from, I believe Joe Hendry was in the Royal Rumble. Was Joe Hendry in the Rumble last year? I don't know. I don't quite remember. But yeah, that is a big deal, and who knows what you'll see or who you'll see on both shows. So TNA might be worth tuning into, which I've been checking out TNA the past few weeks on my DVR, and they've been all right. I mean, I'm not a huge TNA guy, but you know, they've been okay. They've been okay. Another thing I have got to get to today is Bob Uecker. Rest in peace, Bob Uecker. If you want to go on Twitter, or X as it is, there's a pretty cool story floating around the late Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang on the Stern Show, sharing a Bob Uecker story. This is from a few years ago, and also his appearances on Johnny Carson, which definitely must see. If you haven't, go on YouTube, or I wonder if they would be on Peacock, because the Tonight Show, NBC show, I wonder if, I haven't checked that out. I don't know if Peacock has a vault. I'm sure they do. I mean, they've got a bunch of old NBC shows, so I'm sure they've got... Anyway, I'll read you a bit here. Legendary baseball broadcaster and former big league player Bob Uecker died on Thursday at age 90. The Milwaukee Brewers announced he had been battling with small cell lung cancer since early 2023, his family revealed. Uecker spent 54 seasons calling Brewers games and also became well known in the world of entertainment as comedic actor in the Major League movies, as well as the 80s sitcom Mr. Belvedere. Says it is with heavy hearts that we mourn the passing of Bob. To many, he was an announcer and entertainer whose humor and voice transcended the game, but to us, he was much more, his family said in a statement. He brought joy to countless listeners through his wit, charisma, and love for baseball, Milwaukee, and all of Wisconsin, creating a legacy that will forever be cherished. While his contributions to the game are noteworthy, it's his kindness, humility, and love for friends and family that we will hold closest to our hearts. We are grateful for the outpouring of love and support during this difficult time as we grieve and celebrate the man we are so lucky to call ours. Uecker, it should be noted, was a big league player well before he became a personality. He debuted during the 1962 season, appearing in 33 games with the then Milwaukee Braves. He would go on to make 297 career appearances as catcher, hitting 200, 293, 287 with 14 home runs. Uecker won a World Series ring as a member of the 1964 St. Louis Cardinals, while coincidentally serving as Tim McCarver's backup. The late McCarver would go on to enjoy his own broadcasting career. After retiring, Uecker would find himself working in baseball and entertainment alike. He made several appearances a year on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show and was hired by future MLB Commissioner Bud Selig as a scout for the Brewers. Worst scout I ever had, Selig later joked. We sent him to the Northern League, and the next thing I know, General Manager Frank Lane comes raging through my office asking what kind of scout I hired. The report was smeared with gravy and mashed potatoes. Uecker eventually transitioned to the booth in 1971, spending more than 50 years calling games for Milwaukee. He became known for, among other things, his self-deprecating humor. He once recounted a tryout that had as a pitcher with the Braves. All of a sudden, pitching coach Johnny Cooney said, "All right now, let me see your good fastball." Said, "I've been throwing my good fastball." And he says, "Well then, I recommend you get a job." Uecker would later say of the contract he inked with the Braves that included a $3,000 signing bonus. That bothered my dad at the time because he didn't have that kind of dough, but he eventually scraped it up. Uecker played Cleveland announcer Harry Doyle in the 1989 baseball comedy Major League and its two sequels. Uecker was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2003 after winning the Ford C. Frick Award, which annually honors a broadcaster who made major contributions to baseball. The Brewers have since installed a statue of Uecker at American Family Field in Milwaukee. "I can't think of a better place to put it," he said. "It's great for fans and even better for the pigeons." He kept calling games through the 2024 season, and he was part of the Brewers clubhouse celebration when they clinched the NL Central this past September. Milwaukee released a statement this morning calling Uecker the light of the Brewers and the soundtrack of our summers. Here's the statement in full. "Today we take on the heaviest of burdens. Today we say goodbye to our beloved friend Bob Uecker. Uecker was the light of the Brewers, soundtrack of our summers, laughter in our hearts, and his passing is a profound loss. He was the heart and soul of Wisconsin and a dear friend. Bob loved people. His presence warmed every room, and he had a way of welcoming all of us to his world as if we were lifelong friends. Saying goodbye to Bob shakes us all. He was so much more than a Milwaukee Brewers icon. He was a national treasure. Bob entertained us with his words and storytelling, so it's no surprise that his passing now leaves us with a loss for our own words. There's no describing the impact Uecker had on so many, and no words for how much he was loved. We are left with a giant void in our hearts, but also remember the laughter and joy he brought to our lives. While this one-time backup catcher was known for his self-deprecating style, Bob Uecker was one of the game's most beloved figures throughout his 70-year career in baseball, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said in a statement. In his 6 years in his hometown of Milwaukee, as well as St. Louis, Philadelphia, and Atlanta, he made lifelong friendships with many Hall of Famers and other stars of the 60s. He was a member of the 1964 World Series champion Cardinals. Near the beginning of his remarkable 54-year run in the Brewers radio booth, Bob's trademark wit became a staple of television and movies. Even with his considerable success in Hollywood, Bob remained fiercely loyal to baseball and to Milwaukee. He loved the game and used his platform to help numerous charitable causes in his hometown and beyond. Bob was the genuine item, always the funniest person in any room he was in, and always outstanding ambassador for our national pastime. We are grateful for his baseball life like no other, and we will never forget him. Rest in peace, Bob Uecker. You brought lots of joy to everyone. Bob Uecker was 90 years old. That is going to be it for, well, actually, let me see. Let me hold on here. See if I can at least get you who's on the Tonight Show tonight. Now, as you know, I've been watching them on Peacock for the last year. So, I have not watched last night's yet. Sam Heughan was on last night from Outlander. Let's see. Yeah, it's interesting that okay, the last Tonight Show that I watched, Bad Bunny was the co-host. I don't know when Jimmy started having co-hosts for the Tonight Show. I don't know if he had one last night, but had Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin of yeah, I don't. Let me walk over here. Walk with me for a little bit, as I see who is on tonight, because Twitter is failing me. Not that Twitter's not working, but excuse me, they don't have who's on tonight. So I'm going to tell you if this little thing will work. Okay, here we go. Just waiting for the TV to kick in here. Waiting for it to wake up. Okay. First of all, Kelly today, oh, this is going to be fun. She is going to sing Flagpole Sitta, the 90s one-hit wonder from Harvey Danger? Yeah, that's going to be, it's going to be interesting. Josh Gad is going to be on, Gwendolyn Christie, TV tonight, well, it's still rerun time. None of the shows have come back. You guys been watching Landman on Paramount Plus? That is my TV pick. That's a good show. I like that show. And okay, here's the problem with the Tonight Show for the past few weeks, really. It's not been on the TV guide on Dish. What they've been having for the last 2 weeks is News 40 at 10 for a freaking hour and a half. Now, I know that ain't right. But like I said, though, I've been watching Jimmy on Peacock, so who knows what NBC 40 is doing. Who knows what they're doing. I'll tell you about the morning shows, though. GMA tomorrow, Deals and Steals. Live with Kelly and Mark. Oh, thank God I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Chase Stokes is going to be on. I'm not going to go on a rant. But anyway, he's got a movie called Marked Men. The only good thing about that is maybe we'll get to see Kelsey Ballerini on the red carpet. I mean, is this a movie or is it a Netflix movie? Because I'd like to see Kelsey on the red carpet, but I don't really care anything about seeing him. Conclusion of Finance Week. Jennifer Lopez on The View. Let's see. Kelly Clarkson tomorrow. Joel McHale. Amber Ruffin. Remember when Amber Ruffin, they gave her a late night TV show on the Peacock app? That didn't last very long, did it? I wonder what she's doing now. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. And tomorrow night, once again, NBC has To Be Announced from 7 to 8, even though Reba and the George Lopez Show are the Friday night shows for NBC. I think they've always got To Be Announced on there because I honestly think that they expect those two shows to get canceled any day now. Even though this is the third season, I think, for George Lopez or something. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know why they do the To Be Announced shtick. And Monday Night Raw. Friday Night SmackDown is a few weeks ago. It moved to USA. Actually, 3 weeks ago, it moved to USA. And it went to 3 hours. So 7 to 10 on USA tomorrow night is Friday Night SmackDown. And tomorrow night on The Tonight Show. Oh, look at that. They actually do have The Tonight Show in the programming schedule for tomorrow night. But it's a repeat tomorrow night, as his Friday night shows usually are. It's Jamie Lee Curtis, Mikey Madison, who I've been seeing a lot on Twitter, but I don't really know what she does. Maybe I should watch that and see what she does. Michael Shannon and Jason Narducci perform. And as far as Saturday Night Live, again, don't know, because they've got the news from 10 to 12:30. You know, Dish is starting to tick me off, man. They got this. First of all, last year they moved. Well, this is not Dish's fault. The Xfinity Series got moved to the CW, which Dish doesn't carry the CW. Or maybe it's just the package that we don't have doesn't carry CW. But anyway, yeah, that's that is going to be it for the week. I've been off here I've had a month off, and I've given you a 34-minute vlog, which maybe I should take a month off more often, because most of my vlogs are like 10, 15, 20 minutes. And at this point, you're probably like, I wish this dude would shut up so I can do something else. So I'm going to check out, and I'll catch you later. Be calm, be cool, be courageous. Hope you guys have a good week or 2 weeks, or hell, have a good 2026. Have a good life. Come on, or 2025. I'm already calling it 2026, and we just entered into 25, didn't we? Okay. Well, that's that is all for me for today, for this week. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great weekend, and peace out. See you later.